All right, so good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone, depending on where in the world you're joining us from. So, welcome to another session of the Women Empowerment Financial Literacy and Entrepreneurship Coaching series, which is part of the American Spaces Strategic and Support Programming. This is an initiative by Mobile Web Ghana with the support of the U.S. Embassy Ghana. So, I am Estella H. Anneman, and I work at Mobile Web Ghana as the coordinator for American Corner Aboba. And I had to take my time to mention that. And I'm also delighted to be your moderator for this session. So whether you are now investing, you are new to investing, someone mentioned that they want to learn about investment. So whether you are new to investing or looking to diversify your portfolio, or you're in the right place, our goal today is to explore broad range of investment opportunities and strategies to help you make informed financial decisions. So today we are here to, I mentioned that we are here to explore, based on the topic that we have, is 16 ways to invest your money. So I'm thrilled to introduce our facilitator for today, who is in the person of Mr. Medio Prince, who is a chartered accountant from the Institute of Chartered Accountants, Ghana, ICA Ghana, and then currently enhancing the financial operations at Mobile Web Ghana. With a rich background in finance, he has previously contributed to Art Bureau, Zira Group, GN Group, and Joe Vision Services, excelling in financial management, strategic planning, budgeting, and regulatory compliance. So without any further ado, I'm just going to hand it over to our facilitator to take us through the session. Over to you, Mr. Prince.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are joining us from. This morning, we are here to share ideas on investment. So as our coordinator mentioned, yes, my name is Samedo. So I'm here to just serve you this morning session. So basically, we'll go straight into ways of investing our monies. Just shortly, let me just move to the next one. Hello, can you see my screen?
Yes, please. We can see your screen now.
Okay.
Yes.
Right. Just a few minutes for me. Right. Okay. So if you can see my screen, then it's good that we start this way.
Right. Okay.
Now, to do investments, I want to draw your attention about some of the things that you need to think about before starting any investment of your choice. We'll look at the options to look at, but before you start any investment, it is important that you look at your goal. What are you investing for? Is it for education? Is it for rent? Is it for putting up an apartment? Or is it for buying a land? Or is it for buying a car, an asset? Okay, so all this will determine which one you should invest for. If you need to invest for a certain number of years to meet that target. And the second thing also you need to consider is your risk tolerance. Are you someone in investment says that the higher the risk, the higher the return? Just like in accounting, say the golden rule, for every debit, there must be a corresponding credit entry. That rule of thumb applies. So your risk level, are you someone who takes risk? If you're not someone who likes risk, then mean that you need to look at the options that are less risky. Then we'll also look at the returns that you're expecting. Are you expecting higher returns, or you're expecting low returns? Or you're just looking at an average returns that will keep your money working for you. So those are the things that you need to consider. There could be other things if you read other literatures. Could be others, but these are the three ones that I want to draw your attention to. So let's talk about investment. What is investment? Now, according to some write-ups, they say it is the act of allocating resources, usually money, with the expectation that tomorrow you get some investment, that money that you are putting aside will generate what? Income, profit, or gains for you. Okay. But the simple thing that I want to take away for this morning's session is that it is making money work for you. It could be working for you actively or passively, but the sweetest way of enjoying investment is when your money is working for you passively. Now, what do I mean by passively? Passively is when you are not involved in generating any income, profit, or gain from that investment that you've made. An example could be rent. Okay, so your building is there and then you are getting the return that is coming. So that's what a passive. Or if you buy a snooker or a casse, those of you know that game, or any game that people will be playing, then you go at the end of the day or at the end of the week and go for your money. Those are passive. So the active mean that you get involved in whatever investment. So we'll look at it into detail as we proceed. So I want to say that what do you do with the monies you've saved? And it is a disaster that you be proud of your bank account, that I have so and so balance in it. And then you be raising your shoulders that I have maybe 10,000 cedis in my account or 20,000 cedis in your account. The only way that you can be proud of your account is when your account is in Forex. What do I mean by Forex? If it's in a different currency that appreciate by itself, it could be a dollar, euro, and what have you, a pound, a yen, a CFA, what have you. So this morning, if you are not taking away anything at all, just remember that investment is simple, making money work for you, not you working for money, right? So let's look at some of them. Treasury bill. These are some of the low risk investments option that you can consider. And it is an investment option that is backed by the government of Ghana or the government of whichever jurisdiction that you are investing in. And so it's usually issued by what? The Bank of Ghana through other banks and then financial services providers. So as at today or 26th June, that should be like yesterday, okay, the rates for example, a treasury bill for 3 months, usually done in days. So you can have 91 days, okay? And the interest on it comes what? As a discount. That's why you take the interest ahead of time or you wait for maturity. And each of them have a separate interest rate. And the interest rate that you'll be giving is per annum. It means that it's for the whole year. So if you are investing for just 3 months, which is 91 days, meaning that the rate will be divided into 4. So if you take 91 days investment for treasury bill at a maturity of 24% per annum, it means that on these 91 days, when they're calculating the interest for you, they'll divide the 24% by 4. That'll give you like 6%. That will calculate on the amount that you're investing. And you can invest as low as 100 cedis. Okay, so you can do 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, and so on. And if you want to buy it, as I mentioned, you can buy from the banks or financial services providers, licensed by SEC, Security and Exchange Commission, or Ghana Stock Exchange, whoever is there. Then we have fixed deposits. Fixed deposit is usually issued by the banks. It takes the same form as what the treasury bill. Okay, so sometimes the banks will issue this products and then they may invest it into treasury bill or other products. And so the spread is what money that they make. And more often than not, the interest on fixed deposits, they may have different variety of it, but more often than not, it's a product that is bank, the individual bank itself. Okay, so that's the difference that I want to draw your interest rate is dependent on the amount that you are investing. But our treasury bill is dependent on what the time. If it is 3 months, 6 months, or 1 year, that vary the interest rates. But when it comes to fixed deposit, it's the amount. So if you go to your bankers, you still want to do fixed deposit, they usually ask you, how much are you investing? Is it 10,000, 5,000, or 1,000? And they will give you the rate that goes. with it. So it's also another low risk that's worth considering if you want to put your money aside. Now we look at mutual funds. Mutual funds, an example of mutual fund is DataBank mFund that you can look at. We have SAS Fortune funds and many others. What are money or mutual funds for? They are basically mobilization of short-term funds that these institutions gather from what investors, and then they invest them into what other products like bonds, shares, and what have you, long-term. And whatever returns that they get from it, they spread it towards the people who have invested in it. So if you look at, you see investor is there, there's a fund manager, and they do investment into securities. From the securities, then they make their returns. Whatever return that they make from that investment, they share it among what the investors or the people who bought what these mutual funds. So the mutual fund, it comes in units. If you are familiar with shares, if you are investing, let's say 10,000 into it or 1,000 into it, and then allocate a price to it. And so when they make their returns from their investment, they share part of it based on the units. Then at the end of the 3 months or the way to, you get your benefits in that aspect. I don't know if somebody have some questions, some clarification. It can come in as I proceed with other investment options. It's also another short term. But it's not backed by government. It's the individual banks and financial institutions that are backing it up. Okay, so in terms of risk, it's a marginal government of Ghana. So if you should have your investment with one of these risk in there, you struggle to get your money. But nonetheless, the government will pay you whatever it is. It may aspect. They will talk about bond. Bond used to be a very safe investment. People have to suffer haircuts. So if you are familiar with the haircut, basically haircuts just talking about you having your principal reduced and then your interest rate as well reduced. It could be either of them or both of them. So investments that is issued by the government, and so which are sold to an individual. So you can walk to financial services and they say that you want to be sold to you, and then you'll be made to know about the coupon rates. What do you mean by coupon rate? Coupon rate basically means interest rates. Okay, coupon rates at a certain maturity period. Okay, and if you're interested in it, you invest in it, but it will not be out of. So it's worth considering investing in this bond, even though ours from some issue of debt restructuring that has affected, but it is still worth considering and investing your money in there. So please consider that way of investing your money. That's farming. Farming, it used to be in the past. In the past, it looks so laborious. But this time around, you can do farming at your backyard. Okay, you can do farming at your backyard. If you happen to have a plot of land and you have some half or a quarter available, you can, okay, especially if you have water available at your end, you learn the skills fish and you never regret investing into it. You can give it to somebody to, excuse me, to be whatever profit that comes out of it. You can look at fish and new delicacy on the market these days. If you go to, that's something what that you can consider. Snail farming is also another thing that you can consider on a small scale. Then as the business grow or as the investment grow, you can also expand. Rabbits farming is also another thing worth considering. If you are a lover of rabbits, if you are a fan of rabbits, you can also invest in it. Grass cutter, akrantie. If I'm not sure you go to any restaurant or eat joint that there will not be akrantie over there. So there's market for all these products that I mentioned and more. I mean, the picture I will show about what's maize farming. If you have the space or you can acquire land on, there's a base, either we share into 2 or we share into 4. You take 1 and then the farmer takes 3. They are all ways of investing your money, because you are not actively involved in getting the farming done. Okay, so Amish agriculture contributes about 54% of the GDP according to some statistics of the statistical service, and also about 40% of the export earning. Yes, especially people who do cash crop farming, those are large scales one. But this conversation, we are starting on a small scale, so that from here you can build up to become what, a bigger business on your own. Then we'll look at shares or stocks. Stocks, basically, we are talking about your interest or your part ownership in a business. Okay, so stocks, you can acquire it through an IPO, initial public offer. That's when they are going public, or they can do a private placement. So for example, a company like Mobile Web can float shares on an IPO, maybe 1 million shares, and they can say that each share is going for, say what, 5 cedis or say 2 cedis. So the number of shares that you buy does represent your interest or your part ownership of what, Mobile Web. In another way, Mobile Web can also say that, no, I don't want to go public. So you call some few people, okay, I want to go, I want to raise additional capital, but then I don't want to go public. So this and this, what I have, I want to give out, say 30% of my value to whoever is interested. Then the person comes, there's an agreement, there's a sale and purchase agreement, and then those transactions are finalized. The interest, whatever is paid, is paid. If it is represented in just assets, that is also done. Okay, so we are saying that in terms of stock, we want to talk about 2 aspects of it. Ordinary stocks. Now, the ordinary stocks are mostly owners of the business. Okay, so being the owner of the business, you can be part of the management, you can be part of the board, or you allocate that responsibility to somebody. You give a power of attorney to somebody to act on your behalf, to become part of the management or part of the board. Okay, so in that aspect, you are kind of the owner of the business. And those people, we are talking about the returns that they will get when the bottom line is good, when the profit is good, and the management decide to pay some returns on it. And the return regarding stocks or shares is what, dividends. Okay, they pay it per share. It can be 1 cedi or 50% per share. So whatever money you have invested as an ordinary or equity stockholder is multiplied, and then the amount is paid into your account. I mean, you need to know that there's some tax element in there. that will be taken out, and then the difference paid to you. So you're saying that these people, being the owners of the business, they are paid last. Okay, they'll pay others of that dividend before they are paid. So the people that will pay first are the preference shareholders. Preference shareholders are not part owners. They are not into management. They are not on the board. Okay, but they have also bought part of the shares. And having bought part of the share, whenever the business decide to pay dividend, they are paid first. So whatever is left, then is paid to the ordinary shareholders. I hope we are clear on that. If there's any question, we can take them up and then clarify them. Okay, so let's proceed. Now we want to look at debenture. Debenture is also a way of what companies use to raise money. And if you have your money idle, it's worth investing into debentures. And we are saying that they are a type of long-term debt instrument that is not backed by a collateral. What's a collateral? For example, if you want to get a loan from the bank, they'll ask you to bring either your land title, or if you have card documents, say you bring the card documents. That's what we mean by collateral. And so we are saying that the backing for debenture, usually the credit worthiness of the corporation or government. So if government of Ghana is issuing out debentures, if you are buying it because of what? Government is credible. If MTN or other blue chip companies are issuing out debentures and you want to invest into it, you are investing into it because of what? Their credibility or their credit worthiness. That's what they have the capacity to pay you as and when it is due. It also comes with what? A fixed coupon rate, a fixed interest rate. And it's a long-term investment. If you look at it like 5 to 20 years, that's where you can also get your returns. So it's worth considering investing into, especially if you don't have plans for the money for now, or you have a child that you are planning of. If you have some money that you want to pay your child's school fees when you get to university or secondary school, you're looking at 10 years or say 5 years. So those monies, you can put them into such investment portfolio and to be generating returns for you. Another investment option is to be what? An angel investor. Who is an angel investor? They provide initial seeds money for startups. So let's say that an angel investor can say that, okay, I want to invest into micro businesses. So I've seen some locations that I want somebody to be selling Hausa cocoa there. So you get some Amelia and they said, okay, I'm buying you your pots, your assets, so and so, and then I'm giving you so and so amounts. Okay, let's say 500 cedis, or maybe you can ask the Amelia or whoever is in that business, okay, how much do you need to start selling Hausa cocoa here, or oats, or wheat, or what have you? The person will give you, okay, I want 100 cedis or 500. They'll give the person the 100 cedis. Then it's okay. Every day, as part of you selling, either you give me 1 cedi every day, or after 6 months, then you start giving me what? 2 cedis or 1 cedi every day. So then you can engage others. Let's say somebody who is into selling oranges or selling fruits by the roadside. You can approach the person, okay, I want you to expand this business. How much do you need? You go into an agreement, you provide the funds, and the people take off. So you're saying that they provide initial seeds for what? Startup businesses, and usually in exchange of ownership. So the ownership can be directly or indirectly. Okay. So the procedure I spoke about is like indirectly. They give you your 2 cedis every day. Then that's your ownership. Or you can go into agreement for 50-50. Okay, I'm giving you this money. When you sell and you take off your cost, whatever is left for the day, we share it into two or into three. You take two, I take one. It's also something that they do. And they actually have a network in Ghana here, Ghana Angel Investors Network. You can research about them and then be part of them if you have an idle fund in your bank account. They want to look at starting a business on your own or starting a business for somebody to actually take care of. You can have your money in your bedroom or wherever it is, or with somebody. But if the money is not giving you returns, it's better you are not investing it. Investment must result in returns, must result in profits, must result in a gain or capital appreciation. Whatever money you have, the money must appreciate. So you can start a business, a new business. It may be difficult, but it will be worth it. So some of the business may require more capital, but you have to do it according to what funds you have. And we believe that with proper planning and management, you can get the best out of it if you should invest that money into that business. Should you invest and you fail, look out for the lessons and pick it up again. So you can start with your hobbies, your interests. So if you're someone who likes what? Designing for hobby, if you're someone who like what? Pleating heads for hobby, or you like just selling wig, it's something worth considering. You just start up, you look for your markets, you look for your skills to market it, and then you are on the go. But at the end of the day, we just want to say that whatever money you have, assess your interest, your hobby, acquire the needed skills, and offer a product or service to your markets. And you never regret having done that with your idle funds. Also want to look at property investment in two breadth. So property investment, one is what? Land. Land is an investment which is very interesting. It's very risky, but it's always worth the struggle or the attempt. So what am I saying that? I'm saying that because if you look at the land price, for example, in 2016, a land price at Gansaf, let's say Ashalaja, maybe an inner land is going for, like, say, 6,000. Okay, today that inner land is going for, like, say, 30,000 or 40,000. And a similar land by the roadside, as at 2016, is going for, so say, 10,000. Today is going for what? 60,000. And it could be even more at some places. Okay, so if you have, or you know the strategy of dealing with chiefs, you have to know how to do chiefs and then land guards. You can acquire acres of land. All you need is to be able to protect it. How do you protect it? You need to have the land document, and you need to have people stay on it. You put up shed for people stay there, maybe farming on it, just to protect it. But if you have the financial capacity, you can wall it. Okay, just to protect it against what? Encroachment. So if you look at a land value within these two periods of, say, 8 years, from, say, 6,000 to 40,000, see the appreciation from 10,000 to 60,000, or to even to what? 100,000 at some places. Look at it. And I'm not sure you regret, but don't get sad when you lose some land. It's part of the risk. As we say, they are high risk, okay, investments. Some chiefs may come back tomorrow, want some part of the land back. Once you know how to do with them, you just give them some money and then they'll go and rest for some time. And you also find ways of what? Selling it out or allocating it to what? Others. So you can have those land, you service them, you can sell them, or you use them yourself. But for the purpose of investment, it'll be proper either you resell them to make your gain. Now, on this same land, you can decide to build houses, okay? Either estate or you just buy our usual chamber and hall, self-contained for people to rent. Or you can do that on different lands and sell. Just like we have these real estates that engage in those activities. They sell it by floor or they sell it by terrace or by semi-detached, detached penthouses. It all depends on. So should you have the financial power, you can build estate on them. If you don't, you can partner with other investors to what? Put your money to good use. And this investment, if you are successful in it, I don't know if I should say you eat from it until you die. Of course, you earn from it until you die. Probably your children will maybe even come and continue earning from it because it is a lifetime investment for generations to come. I'm sure if you look at the picture by the side, this property, the family that owns it or the investor that owns it will be eating Afriball. So we want to look at Forex, sorry. So Forex, there are different way of going about the Forex. There are platforms that engage in Forex trading. But the one that I want to talk about this morning for our session is what? Buying foreign currency and keeping. Okay. So you can, let me give you some statistics on currency volatility or movement. For example, if you look on $1 in 2016, now in 2016, $1 was around four cedis. 4 cedis, let's say around 4 cedis. And today it's going for how much? The dollar is going for like 15 cedis or 14 cedis. See the growth from 4 to 8 to 12 and almost 16. So if you had invested your money into, say, buying $1,000 or $1,000, that's at that time would be like 4,000 Ghana cedis. Should you have invested that money and today you have that $1,000 that you have not touched, how much are you looking at? 15,000. That's over what? 100% growth. Okay, because 4,000 that's like times 2 and more. And and then we look at 2020, the dollar was going for like say 5.5 to a cedi. And today, how much is it going for? You do the calculation yourself. Then euro in 2020, like 6.32. And today is going for how much? Like 15 plus thereabout, or 16, depending on where you are getting it from. So investment in foreign currency is worth the time, is worth the risk. All you need to do is be able to protect wherever the money is. As long as you don't have Okroma to be talking about it, and then you keep it safely, you always make a gain out of it. Another aspect of it, that's what I talk about, that's the platform one. It's also worth considering. If you are someone who have the love for the platform one, why not give it a shot and make your money work for you? Gold, Galamsey is on the peak of late because our love for gold has increased. It has increased to the extent that everybody is now involved. So you're saying that if you're familiar with gold, you can buy, keep, and then resell it when the value appreciates. Of course, in the days of old, family treasures were kept in gold. My tree is not too good, but I know there's a ska kuku or something like that we see in our movies, that people keep their wealth in that. So whatever investment that they've done and made some money, they kept it in the form of gold. And so at the right time, they can sell part of it to make life comfortable. They can sell part of it to take care of their children's education, do whatever they want to do with it. And so some of the companies that engage in this buy and sell of gold officially, there we have Asa Gold Company Limited, we have Stelna Solutions Limited, among others. Right. I'm sure this is the last of. Yes, thank you.
Okay, thank you so much.
There are questions, we can look at it.
Yes, so we have a lot of questions coming in. So I'm going to start with a comment from Billy James. He's saying that maybe you can advise him on the steps to take. He says, I'm considering investing into maize and vegetables. And he, amplified that with garden eggs, okra, tomatoes, pepper farming. Is there any advice you want to give him, a tip about how to go about it?
Right. I'm not into farming specifically, but all that you need to do is about having the land. If it is your own land, well, you have some control over it. If it is somebody's land, you need to go into agreement as to how you are going to share the output or the produce. And I say traditionally, there's you share into 4, you take one part, the landowner takes some parts. So all those understanding need to be settled before you invest your money into it. If it is at the backyard garden, that one is within your control. You just need to fence it so that animal, goats and fowl or poultry animal do not destroy it. If you fence them well and then you take care of it, you'll not regret investing into farming.
Right. So I hope that, Billy, you've taken a tip or two from our facilitator. And we wish you all the best in, considering your investment in farming. Now, let's move to Jerry Kofinate. He's asking that how much would one need to invest in stock?
Right. Stock, as I mentioned, I say it comes in 2 parts. So we have a private placement that doesn't go public, and then we have the public one. So when you go to a financial house, let's say Data Bank or SAS, SAS Financial Services, when you go there, they'll inform you about price per share of whatever company that you want to invest in. Or you can even take a look at the stock exchange. You see that they have the prices by each stock. Okay, so you look at your money you have and then the stock that you want to invest in. And usually they'll tell you about the minimum that you can buy. Some will go for a minimum of 100, some may be 500, others may be 1,000. Okay, so I can't give you a specific amount now. But whatever money you have, when you approach them and the option that they'll give you a history of the growth of the price per share of whichever company that they have opportunity to sell their shares. Okay, so they will inform you, okay, this company A, whether it is a Standard Chartered or it is Gold, okay, or it is Bob, or it is Unilever, they'll tell you the price per share and then how the price has grown over time. So based on that and the money that you have, you say, okay, and then based on the minimum that you can buy as well, it will inform you how much you can buy. Thank you.
Thank you. So I hope you've taken the note and it was quite informative for you. So moving on to, okay, so that's from Alfred. He's asking that how do we take advantage of a debenture and where are they available to invest?
Great. Debentures are available and then they are usually provided by financial services. So if you walk into any financial service, NDK, I'm not sure they are still in existence, but I know Data Bank is there because it's for Ken Ofori-Atta. I know GCB, they have a capital. I know Car Bank, they also have an aspect that provide financial service. So if you approach them, they will tell you which companies are requesting for debentures, or if government is also requesting for debenture, those information are provided through those financial services. So if you approach any one of them, you'll be told that, okay, there's a debenture, the time period is so and so, the coupon rate is so and so. And if you are interested and you look at the time period of maturity or the minimum time that the money should be kept there, if you're okay with it, you easily put in your money and you're on the go.
Okay, so thank you so much for that response as well. And to answer your question, Adote, he's asking whether the slides will be made available. Yes, it will be made available. It's live on Facebook, so you can get to watch it again, rewatch it again on Facebook. And then we'll also upload it on Mobile Web Ghana YouTube channel. So you can subscribe to our channel so that anytime we upload the video, you can have a notification. So I think that answers your question. Now to another Mr. I think it's Larry. Sorry if I added Mr. to it. Can you consider an insurance please as an investment?
Consider an insurance what?
Police as
policy.
An investment.
Insurance
Okay.
Policy, yes.
Policy, okay. I
yes,
saw police
insurance
there,
policy.
sorry.
Yes, insurance policies are, especially the educational policy, they are worth considering, because that one you have how do I put it? You have a monthly contribution that you'll be paying towards it. So if you have your money idle, you can invest in there. They do the computation on monthly basis. Then you multiply with the number of years that you want to do. Then you put the money there. Educational policy, they usually have a minimum number of years that the money needs to be kept there. And should you request the funds before that, they will charge you penalty on the interest accumulated. So some of those policies can be considered as such. It is a bit debatable. Someone can say that funeral policy is also an investment product because, of course, you'll be told that when you bring in, let's say, 1,000 cedis and you meet all the conditions, when something happens, we'll give you 5,000. So the spread between the two figures can be classified as a gain. Okay, so any insurance product, provided you meet the criteria, and then eventually when there's a claim, that you will have a margin or you have a difference, is worth considering. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you all for keeping your questions coming. We have a whole lot of them coming in. So this is from Alfred Kodia. He's asking, please, what do you think about sports betting as a form of investment? I was thinking it would be 16th option, considering the fact that our youth are investing heavily in this venture, which we agree. What can you say about that, Mr. Frank?
Sports betting. It's similar to just a normal lotto. Well, technically, it may not be called an investment. It may be called a work that you want to engage. But let's put it this way. So far as investments can be actively or passively, I don't want to be religious to say no. But if it is worth the risk, why not? But are you going to get the returns that you are looking forward to? Or sometimes you lose, sometimes you win. So it's going to fall in what type of category that we are looking at. It's a high risk investment product that you want to consider. But I don't want to stick my neck out to say yes or no. But just look at it from your own point of view. If it is worth considering and you know the means of what going about it, that will result in a gain, I think you are good to go.
Okay, that's quite a dicey one. But let's move to yes, I think that okay, so this is a comment from Larry. He's saying that what are some of the investments that are not regulated by central banks? It looks like we can't trust the value and policies of currencies in Africa by our central banks. What can you say to that, sir?
The investment that are banked by the central bank, that's treasury bill and the bonds. And then if I'm not familiar about the debenture, if government has issued any debenture, but these two mains are the ones that are backed by the central bank. And as I said, that for many years, bond and treasury bill has been the safest. Okay, it is only recently 2022 thereabout that bond has suffered this risk level. And I mean, sometimes some of these things, they happen either by our action or inaction. But I'm sure we've learned our lessons. I'm sure the people at the Bank of Ghana, they've also learned their lessons to put the structures in place to protect investors' fund, because it is people's hard-earned money. After paying all the taxes and mobilizing those funds, if they should invest it with the trust of being backed by government and a solvent institution like a Bank of Ghana, I mean, the best we could do for them is to protect that investment. So I want to encourage you that a chair and so let's give it another shot. And I'm sure they've learned their lessons and they'll give us a good returns. Thank you.
Okay. So I wanted to also ask this question about, risk management in terms of weighing your options. Is it that you always have to check if it's government based, or is it based on the credibility of endorsement? We have sometimes we have these things coming, we have artists and celebrities endorsing such brands. Is it how do you calculate your risk in terms of where do you gear towards to? Is it based on all these factors, or is only when it's government based that, or if it's something like an international organization or multinational organization that you can say, okay, this is credible enough for me to invest my money?
Great. So as I said, anytime you want to do an investment, it is proper to consult this financial house. They'll give you free advice. Just go there and say, oh, I have so and so money. I want to invest in so and so, but I'm not too sure what I should do. Then they'll take you through each one of them and the risk involved. They'll tell you about treasury bill. If you invest in so and so period, this is what you get. If you invest in fixed deposits, this is what you get. If you invest in bond, this is what you get. If you invest in mutual fund, this is what you get. This is the movement that may happen in the course of what? The period. So they will lay bare whatever information that you need to know. And another aspect of it is that any institution that is requesting for investment, you should look out for Bank of Ghana blessings on those institutions. And anytime the Bank of Ghana raises alarm, you should take it serious and then withdraw or you pull out. Okay. But nonetheless, whatever the risk is, as the rule of thumb says, the higher it is, the higher the returns. Thank you.
Okay. The higher is the higher the return.
Yes, I hope I've answered
that was, yes, please, you have. So there's another from Jerry Nate. He's asking that, can you recommend some organizations for the purchase of gold?
For the purchase of?
Gold.
Gold.
Yes,
I mentioned ASA Gold Company Limited. I mentioned Stelnar Solution Limited. Or even you can go to Mineral Commission. Mineral Commission, they can recommend others for you as well.
Okay, so I think that's a really key note to take. So don't just go to any place at all. Just go to the right place to get this information. So This is from Larry again. He says, what are some of the safe platforms you can recommend for stock exchange trading or investment?
Stock exchange trading.
Yes, please. Stock exchange trading or investment.
Okay. Stock exchange are platform that companies who raise funds are what kept there, or yes, they are put on the platform,
Right.
and then their shares appreciation or depreciation is exhibited. That's a stock exchange. So you can have Ghana Stock Exchange, you can have London Stock Exchange. So a company in Ghana can decide that I want to raise my funds from what? New York Stock Exchange. So they'll go and do the IPO in New York. And so the listing is placed on that stock exchange. You can do it in Ghana and then to place on what? Our stock exchange. Now, the investment, that aspect of it is that you are buying the shares of what? Those listed company, either the initial stage or when they're already listed. The initial stage is when they do IPO, initial public offer, they'll make publicity, so and so. For example, in the past, God did same thing to raise money. ETI, EcoBank Transnational Incorporation, also did same to raise money. Car Bank did same to raise money. So they do initial public offer at certain rates. So they can say that they are a minimum of, say, 1,000 shares at 1 cedi. That's the initial public offer. So you buy its 1,000 cedis, you get what? 1,000 shares. Okay. But then after the IPO, if you want to buy it again, then you have to go to what? Licensed dealing companies that are sanctioned by SEC, Security and Exchange Commission, or the Ghana Stock Exchange to buy from there. And then at that point, it means that you'll be buying at the price that is on the bars. That's the stock exchange. Yes.
Thank
I
you
hope
for that.
I've answered the person. If it's not clear,
Yes, so I hope it's clear. It was very comprehensive. We have some few minutes to go, but I think we just take one last question from Jerry is asking if you've heard of Bamboo and Achieve app, and what are your thoughts on them?
Please come again. The Bamboo and
Achieve app.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not privy to that app.
That app. Okay.
Yes, I'm not privy to it, so I can't speak on it.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Prince, for this session. We've learned a lot. Thank you for these amazing tips. And we hope that everyone who joined the session can take the one that you resonate with the most and then put it to work. And then we always love to hear your success stories. And so when these things work for you, just do well to contact us. We have in the chat box our evaluation form, which is very, very important for us that you fill them up. We have a package for all participants this year, which is to give you certificates after this series. And we can only do this by knowing that you really joined the session by you filling the evaluation form. So please do well to fill the evaluation form. If you have any success story, you can just include them in the evaluation form. We would contact you afterwards. And also we have social groups. Someone requested for the YouTube channel. It has already been placed in the chat box. So you can just, click on it, subscribe to our channel, and then get notifications whenever we have uploads of our videos. And then also we have our WhatsApp groups, our Telegram groups, which is very key. It's easy for us to, put in updates on our upcoming events there. So please do also join them as well. And I think that would be the end for this session. Thank you all so much for taking the time to join in once again. My name is Estella Hildanam, and this program is proudly brought to you by the Mobile Web Ghana and the U.S. Embassy Ghana. So do have a great day ahead. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.